So how do you write a song? What's involved in writing a country song? So the other day I was sitting here in the shop all alone. Mom and Dad had been up earlier in the day and they'd left. And I was sitting here and it was quiet, real sunny, pretty day outside. I'm looking out the window. And of course, as a songwriter, your mind's always churning. And actually, I was standing. I wasn't sitting. That's figuratively speaking when you say sitting. But I was actually standing, and I was looking out over towards the door, looking out the window. And the thought hit my mind, I'd stand here alone in this old office. And I thought, man, there's a song in there somewhere. So I got up and I went over and I grabbed my guitar. And I took that first line, because that's all I had, was the first line. And I said, I stand here alone. But in this old office just didn't ring. And when you're writing songs, you're painting a picture. So you're painting that picture to take people on a journey, but you don't want to be too specific painting that picture because you want to give them room to incorporate and insert what they see from their life experience. So I said, I stand here alone. And where does it go from there? So I'm putting the tune together. I stand here alone. And I got to thinking, okay, I'm standing here alone. Where am I standing? And my mind immediately goes to an old, run-down shack. So my next line becomes just that. I stand here alone in this old run-down shack. And I kept playing the guitar, changing chords, and that starts giving me my melody. So I've got two lines now. I stand here alone in this old run-down shack. Where do I go now? So I'm still trying to paint that picture. With a nickel in my pocket, start thinking about money, you know. And I'm painting a picture of a guy that ain't got much. And I'm looking for that key word. And not just any money, you know. Yeah, you could say with a dollar, with a nickel, you know, with a quarter. But you're looking for something that really catches people's attention. And a $2 bill pops in my mind because a $2 bill is a unique piece of money. You know, you can get $2 bills, but they're rare. So that became my next line. With a $2 bill. And what else? What else did he have? He didn't have nothing else, but he's got his name. He's got the most important thing you can have, your name. So now I've got 4 lines. I stand here alone in this old run-down shack with a $2 bill and my name. And now I had a blueprint of where the melody was going. I had my first half of a verse or a chorus. Still didn't have a hook line. Sometimes you don't. A lot of times, most of the time I started out with the hook line. This particular time I didn't. I had an ideal. So that went on, you know, I had that set of lines for, I don't know, several weeks actually. And one day I revisited it. And I thought, okay, what else does he have? you know. So, where's he living at? He's in an old rundown shack with a $2 bill in his name. So I start thinking, well, he's a country boy, and he lives out in the boondocks with all the woods around him. So how do we put that in a song? So then I said, I stand here alone in this old run-down shack with a $2 bill and my name. 40 miles from nowhere, out in the outback, but I wouldn't change anything. Now I had a good, solid verse, but didn't have anything else. So I had that for about a week. Then I revisited it just the other day, and I thought, okay, what else? We need to take this somewhere besides where we've been going, you know. That was the chord progression we've been doing and repeated it. So we needed something that took us somewhere else, resolved what we had. So I got to thinking, and I thought, okay, so what else does he have? He's got a pickup truck. He's got a shotgun, a rifle. You know, how can I incorporate those images of that country boy into the song? So I got to thinking, and I'm playing. I stand here alone in this old rundown shack with a $2 bill and my name. 40 miles from nowhere, here in the outback, and I wouldn't change anything. I've got my pickup and I've got my guns. So then I thought, yeah, that works. I got this old pickup and I've got my gun. And now see, that's the thing too. When you first write something down, you got an ideal. But you should never stop there. You should always be looking for ways to tweak it. You know, I've sung this thing through several times now, and each time I find a tweak on what words I'm using to say the same thing, and even the phrasing of how I deliver it is still in that stage of changing, and it will be up until it's finally finalized as a recording. Many a time I'll have a song written over a period of a few months, and I will have sat down and laid the tracks and laid vocals. And man, those vocals, that phrasing on the vocals alone, it might change 5, 6, 8, 9 times before I finalize it and I'm satisfied with what I have. So that's another key. You should never be done with a song until after it's released. It shouldn't be done, because there's always room for improvement. And yeah, at some point you do draw the line and you say, okay, it's done now. But so that line, I've got my pickup and I've got my guns. The phrasing of that will change as we go along. But that's the basic ideal. I got this pickup and I got my guns. So what else does he have? He lives in the boonies, so he's surrounded by woods. I got this pickup Okay, so he's got 2,000 acres now. And you just let those things come to you. And you tweak them, you move them around, and you're painting that picture. And you're painting it enough that you're giving people a vision, but you're also leaving it elusive enough that they're painting their picture over your picture. And that's one of the keys to writing a good song. So I got this pickup and I got my guns, 2,000 acres to range, and I don't need nobody with a BS degree trying to show me the way. So you finish it out by thinking about, okay, you got your pickup, you've got all this stuff that a country boy has, and you don't need no primpy ass city boy with a BS degree. And BS stands for Bachelor of Science for the college kids, but for the country boy, BS is just BS. And I don't need nobody with no BS degree trying to show me the way. So that's where that song went, and I'm still working on that song. I still don't know if that's just going to be a verse. Probably is, because the first half of it really don't sing into a chorus. But you know, I've had songs like this where I had for a period of time and I couldn't figure out where I was going, and end up taking the second half that gives it that turn to a chorus and writing something else for the front of it and end up with a better chorus and still have the first half as a verse. So who knows where this will actually go, but you've got to leave yourself open when you're writing. It's kind of like shooting a video. Yeah, you can prep for your video and you can storyboard it and you can do all of that there, and that's good. You should do that. But when you hit the field and you're actually on location and you're shooting all day, you know, and maybe it's early in the morning and that sun's rising up and they're out there kind of walking through what you had put down, but the shot becomes the key at this point, because now the shot is not in the storyboard. The angle of the shot and what's happening in nature takes over, so you get that unique shot of the sun rising and what's happening floating through that and breaking up the beams, and you're getting that, you know, you get the lens glare and all that stuff combined going with it. So that you got to leave yourself open when you're writing the song for all those kinds of changes. And that, to me, that's the most important part, is leaving it open for whatever happens and not being done with the song once you've got it written on paper, because rewriting both the lyrical content and even the melody, the music, is key to making a great song. And I can show you, I can pull up all of my songs that I've done, especially in the age of the computer age and the smartphone and all that, where you've got access to record the stuff on the spot, and show you how it started out, and show you, you know, 5 or 6 different variations along the way, and then the final. And even when, you know, when you shoot a music video for it, it's the same thing. The music video that I started with and put teasers up, compared to the final music video, a lot of times it's just, people are like, okay, what happened to this scene? Where did that scene go? You went in a total different direction. Yeah, I did. Because I leave it open and let it take upon its own life. And I think that's key in songwriting also. So you've got to have a vision, you've got to have an ideal, you got to move forward, and you put down your ideal, but you're open for change as it goes along. And you kind of let it evolve with you until you get to that point where, maybe, hey, this is it, this is right. Then you nail it down, you go in the studio, you record it for the final time, and then you send that thing out for a release.